Hey everybody, I'm Josh. I am making this video because I want to talk to you about my 40s. I turned 40 in April. Some things have changed. And I am I want to share my experience because I think that there are a lot of you out there who, whether you're my friend or not, whether I've met you before or not, I think there's a lot of common things. Um, I know certainly some of you maybe are struggling with that aging or, getting on with all the things you hoped you'd do, etc., etc. And I think I've got some stuff that I'd like to tell you. So let me take a step back and I'll tell you the whole situation about why I'm doing this, why I've created this video, and why you're going to expect to see a few more from me coming up this year, or I guess in 2023, and what it all means. So in April, I turned 40, as I mentioned. At the time, I was a little bit lost. I'm married. I have a wife who is my best friend. I met her entirely by accident. I will tell you that story at some point. But there were a lot of things in my life that I just wasn't happy with. I felt as though I was kind of wandering, wasn't quite sure what I was supposed to be doing, why I always felt tired and bad. And I don't know. It's that feeling of, relaxing and thinking, man, like sitting on your couch and just thinking, gee, is this all there is? That was a literal question I asked myself. Is this all there is? I don't have children. It's by choice. My wife and I both decided we don't want them. We're not the type, which is I don't have no issues with that. My sister-in-law had a baby this year. My nephew, he's adorable. He's like the most wonderful kid I've ever met. It's good for me, man. If they only have one kid, I'm happy. And I have one nephew, great. Anyway, so it's just having this feeling of like, have I done everything I want to do? Didn't think much of it. I was in therapy. I visited with a therapist. We talked and talked and talked. And she turned me on to a book. So she said, listen, like, this feeling of feeling empty and hollow and not really knowing who you are and not really being able to talk about who you are. She said, I have a book for you. Because I literally told her in one of these calls, I was at a party for my work and I met some people I'd never met in person before. And I said, we were talking, and one of them asked me, "What do you do? What do you do for fun?" And the question stunned me when he asked me that because I had no good answer. I I didn't know what I did for fun. I had to like think, and I was embarrassed because what do I do for fun? Play video games, sit around on the couch, watch TV, read books, whatever. None of those things are anything you should be ashamed of considering are fun, but you should at least know, what makes you tick, what makes you happy, what do you enjoy? And I couldn't answer the question, and that really stuck with me. It hurt. Um, so anyway, in talking with my therapist, she said, if you have those feelings, like I want to recommend a book to you, and I'm going to show you the book she recommended to me, because this book is pretty much pretty much changed who I am, I think, as a person for the better. So she recommended this book. It's called The Artist's Way. And it's basically, it says it right there, spiritual path to higher creativity. Now, as an aside, kind of as a disclaimer, I'm not religious at all. I was raised Catholic, and that's as far as it goes. I don't really consider myself an atheist. I don't really know what I am, but I don't really have like an organized relationship with any spiritual, like a higher power or anything like that. However, this book really took me inward and helped me, review who I was as a person now versus, how I was as a kid, my interests, the things that I care about, the things that I don't care about, how to draw the artistry out of me. We're all creative. I certainly believe myself to be creative, but I feel like I'd lost a lot of that. I lost a lot of that along the way. And ultimately, it resulted in me, there was a task in here to write a letter. So go, pretend that you're an 80-year-old person, and write yourself a letter to yourself right now, like today. So I did that, and it took me 2 days, and it's hard, guys. It was a hard experience, painful, made me cry a little bit because I was forced to confront the fact. I was forced to confront the fact that I was not where I wanted to be in life. I just wasn't there. Hadn't accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. Still felt hollow. But I thought about it really long and hard, and I went and dug deep and really, really imagined, okay, where am I as an 80-year-old man? Where do I live? Where do I exist? Who's with me? And when I came to, my letter had some very clear, concrete predictions. Not predictions. It's like, it happened. And I wrote that down somewhere. I have it in a drawer, and I read it occasionally because I think what I needed was just a fair appraisal of who I was inside. We all have the inner child inside of us. It's there, he or she or it, whatever you identify as, it lives inside of you. Um, it's there and it tries to be happy, and we spend much of our adult lives telling that inner child to stop, to shut up, to stop sabotaging my future, stop sabotaging my adulthood. But the child, it's there, it's still in your heart, just begging for you to say, "Hey, come back and hang out for a while." And that's what this book encouraged me to do. So I went and hung out with the inner child, and now you'll soon discover what that did for me. And writing that letter, it did something to my brain. Um, One of the outcomes that I described to myself in the letter is something I took the very first step toward in October. And as I was doing that thing, which again, this is going to be the first of several videos, which I'll get to the point. I'm getting to the point, I promise. One of the outcomes of this thing was when I did that thing, I was already my mental picture of doing it and getting through getting through it and being successful, and then understanding where that fit into a bigger framework of kind of like laddering up and getting to the big thing. I didn't even have to think about it. I was already there. It was already done. I knew it was going to happen. And that is such a liberating, enlivening kind of thing. I can't tell you. And then, of course, after that, you're probably familiar with SMART goals. So I read another book on goals, which I don't have here, but I can share the information in the description. I read another book about goals, goal setting, how to assess what you want, how to get to it, whatever. It pushed me toward creating my little goal book. I like stickers. You'll learn that about me. This thing's covered in stickers. It's got all my goals in there. I'll just give you a bird's eye view of that. This is the thing, by the way. I'm going to kind of do this so you can't really see what it is. But once you start building goals, I'd never done SMART goals before for myself. I'd always done them for work. I want to make sure that we get this software. I want to make sure that I get promoted, whatever. I'd never done it for myself, for me. And then suddenly, like, I apply this framework, and now stuff's happening. Stuff is literally just happening. I'm manifesting things just because I know where I'm going, and it dictates, how I carry on in other parts of my life, and suddenly, like, I'm just there. It's crazy. Never believed in manifestation. Again, another discussion. So let me get back to the point of why I'm telling you this, because you're probably at this point wondering, who are you and why should I care? Well, starting right now, as soon as this video goes up, whenever that is, I am joining YouTube. I'm going to be a YouTuber. I'm going to be part of the video content world. It might not always be YouTube. It might be another platform. I don't know. I haven't really thought it out. This is more impulsive than anything, but it's more about just, step on the gas. Let's go. Let's do it. I'm going to take a year. I'm going to post some videos about my life, my goals, my activities, who I am, what I do, what I enjoy, big thoughts, big thinking. I'm going to fail a bunch. I'm going to take you through a bunch of the projects and goals that I have personally. I'm going to try to teach you some stuff. I think, and it's not going to be stuff about your inner child or your goals. I couldn't teach you that. This stuff could. I'm going to teach you more about some things that I do and things that I enjoy, and some things that I've discovered that I'm not too bad at. This is something I've always wanted to do. And that always comes with, well, if you wanted to do it, why haven't you? Because I've been afraid. I've been afraid of my past. I've been afraid of what this could do to my future. I've been afraid of what other people might think of me. And I got to tell you, once you do one of these, once you write yourself a little book of goals and you see where your life is and you balance things out and you draw a little pie chart of, here's my work life, here's my home life, here's my family life, here's my spiritual life. Once you've done that, and once you've really internalized it and you've poured over a whiteboard about your life, once you've, taken a step into learning about another culture, once you've taken a step into embracing who you are and taking that natural empathy and turning it into something, you stop really caring. Like, I don't care. I don't think I'm a bad person. I don't think I'm a great person. But I just don't care. I think we all get one life. And it's not fair to you to say to yourself, I'm gonna hold myself back. I'm gonna hold myself back because I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to embarrass anyone. I don't want to, I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. When the reality is, if I'm lucky, I'll make it another 30 years. That's just science. That's just biology. My grandfather died in his 70s. He and my grandmother actually died a day apart in their 70s. If I'm lucky, I get another 30 years. And that's like up here. Like that's at the top of my range. My other grandparents, they lived till their 90s, but that's a whole different thing. Like I don't think of it that way. I think of I've got from today until I'm 70, and then everything after that, we'll do it all over again. I don't want to live like I'm afraid of being my most true self because I'm waiting around. I'm waiting around for something. Because you know what we're all really waiting around for? We're all really waiting around to be dead. And that's not a good enough reason. So, all that aside, this is the year of YouTube. This is the year of This is the year of video. This is the year of the video log, whatever we call them. And for the next year, starting right now, maybe through the end of 2023, I'm going to keep coming to you with videos. So if you're interested in this, if you have any interest in seeing how great this goes, how badly this goes for me, any of the fun stuff that we get into, or any of the interesting topics that I bring to you, subscribe. Do what they, I always see the YouTubers say, hit the bell, hit the, subscribe, hit the bell, like the video, whatever. And just come along with me. Because if, it sucks in a year, I'll be gone. And you won't have to worry about it. You won't have to even bother with me ever again. But if it's interesting, why not? Maybe we'll come up with something cool here. This is going to sound like a strange thing to say, but I really do feel it in my heart. The world deserves me. The world deserves you. It really does. The world deserves your most genuine self. As no matter what you think of that, it deserves you. And I am going to manifest that for myself because the world deserves me at my most genuine. And that's what this is all about. So like, subscribe, hit that little bell thing, whatever. And hang on, because our next video, I'm going to talk to you about... You know what? I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. Stick around. And I love you.